want you to know what's out there, this, that, and the other, as opposed to just not introducing it to them and then them getting into it from somebody that really wants to, invoke harm on them. You know what I mean? So, and I think that's also, that comes with, again, since, our topic.
And most of the time when you go through that avenue, it's just a lot of shady stuff that you get to know about before, you're ready for it, Whoever's trying to show you something on a low is not trying to show you something
for a positive reason. And I think that's that comes with because our topic was being a man and stuff like that. Being a man, you do need to pay attention to your children. Like Sam said earlier, you really have to keep your eye on them, especially because there's so much evil out here in this world that it's just like, the world wants your child to get into something crazy because so they're not a productive member of society.
And not to mention it's like you're competing with the world too, because they want to be your child's dad also. Right. But that's why I said you're gonna have a daddy somewhere. You're gonna have a daddy some point. So
it's just so important as men to, again, I think those are our main points, to be accountable, to be responsible, and also to be a leader. Again, going back to the Bible, some of the greatest leaders in the Word looked for ways to, ways to seek help, but then also ways to seek help just so they can be able to lead and guide, whoever is looking up to them.
Right. Let's say, because, the greatest leaders know how to follow.
Right.
And that's why accountability is so important. Mm-hmm. That's why having a mentor is so important. Mm-hmm. And if you don't have one, seek one out. Right. Find someone you can trust. Right. Find someone that that has your answers, because like I said, you don't want the blind leading the blind. Right. Hurt people. Mm-hmm. So find someone who has your answer. And if you have an answer for someone that's younger than you, or someone that that can use a hand up, mm-hmm. there's nothing wrong with giving them a hand up. I think, again, we get to the point where sometimes the focus on being a man is being selfish, mm-hmm. and that's never the case. Right. We've got to help pull other brothers up, other men up. Right. This way, we as a society mm-hmm. are doing better.
I think the most that I ever learned about being a man was when I had someone like underneath me who was looking up to me.
Yeah, right. So you got to step right.
So mm-hmm. if you're really struggling with that, find someone that you feel like you're more fortunate than, or someone who's less fortunate than you, or someone who's in a lower place or less fortunate place. Yeah, that's a better word. A less fortunate place than you, and try to lift that person up, and you'll see how the type of manhood that would bring out of you. Mm-hmm.
I'll this will be the last thing I say, so you can put a bow on it. Mm-hmm. One of the most powerful pieces of advice I got was that when you're strong enough, the things that you were missing in life, be the things that you were missing, mm-hmm. so that so that you can help the next person. So if you if you grew up missing A, B, C, and D, when you're strong enough, be that A, B, C, and D that you were missing. I always wanted to be a bigger brother. Mm-hmm. I was fortunate enough, God made me fortunate enough that I had little cousins, that I could be that big brother to. Someday I'm going to be the dad that I've always wanted, that I've always wished that I had. When you're strong enough, be what you were missing in life, become it. Yeah. And I mean, it goes without saying, all the positive things in life, mm-hmm. but become it. And in this way, your future is better off.
Yeah, and I just my closing thing would be, for those of us that maybe haven't been fortunate to have that father figure, that positive male figure in our lives, like Sam kind of said, be who it is that you wish you had, for someone coming up under you, whether that be, your child or cousin, nephew, whatever the case may be. Because it's not like, I know a lot of times, sometimes people tend to harp on the past. Like, man, I didn't have that growing up. I didn't, this is what I was missing. This is why I'm the way I am. It's like, when you get to a certain age, you have to be, responsible. You have to be accountable. You have to know that, okay, I didn't have that. Yeah, it's unfortunate, but I know I can be better. I want to be better. And to really, and know that, especially if you're going to have a family someday, you need to be better because you don't want your children, just out of love, you don't want your children to go through those same mistakes that or to make those same mistakes that you made coming up. And I just think it's, I just think this was such a great conversation because it just covers so many different topics. We went all over the place, but still, it was great stuff.
No bad for that.
No. That was great. Well, like you said, it's a conversation, man. And
that's the beautiful thing about it, because many people that may be interested in all the other things that we said, this got their ears. So I just think it was great. So I just want to go over again, a couple of topics that I had, and I'll close it out. Y'all don't have any more to add on? Y'all good?
I'm good, boss.
We should do this again.
We're going to definitely do this again.
Well, yeah, I feel there's got to be a part 2.
Oh, yeah.
It has to be 7 or 8 parts.
Yeah,
Let's
get into it. We're gonna get into it. We're gonna go to Ghana and get into it. So.
I'm saying you're welcome, man. Right, you're welcome. We got a studio and everything ready for you.
Oh, we're gonna do that. So the topics that I had: a man is responsible. A man protects and provides for his family. A man keeps his word and tells the truth because, out here a lot of people don't necessarily hold up to their word. So being a man, we have to make sure we do that. A man doesn't just talk but acts. He is decisive and assertive. That's definitely important. You need to be decisive as a man because, if you have a family or even not a family, people that are looking around to you, it's important to make that decision and show, that we're not afraid to, even if we are inside afraid, you don't let, that fear be seen out of you because that's what being a man is. And I'm not saying not to show emotion, not to ask for help, but we need to make decisions and we need to stick to them and hold to them and, hold to our words. A man leads. That's kind of given. That's like our God-given role is to be a leader, in our homes, whether it be in business or whatever. We just need, not everybody's going to lead a business because, not many people want to do that. But in our own homes, our own families, we need to be leaders and set the standard, set the tone for not only for the young men, but also the young ladies. Like Sam said, you're going to be that man that your woman, that your daughter may look up to, or that your little cousin may look up to, whatever the case may be. A man makes progress.
Neighbor,
exactly. Anybody around you, you're going to be that man that somebody's looking up to. A man makes progress. And last, that we spoke of, a man is not afraid to seek help. So most importantly, I believe that help, when you don't know who to turn to, you can always turn to the Lord. He's always willing. He wants to listen. He wants you to come to him and hear. He wants to hear from you. And that's when, when he imparts that wisdom to you, when he gives you, those instructions that are going to help you out, to allow you to advance and, to grow, to be who it is that he created you to be. Again, this is YoYo, the podcast. I actually did want to shout a few people out. So as you guys know, my logo is a picture of my beard with a microphone in it. Shout out to Justin, my cousin, who did that. I've had my beard for a while now. And I started using these products, these beard products. So I'm into like the all natural stuff. So shout out to Natural Butter Love, Miss Queen and her business, her beauty product business. She has a lot of different things for the women as well, body butters and all those things. But the one that I used recently is the Island Breeze Beard Balm. Fellas, I'm not one to just plug stuff just for the sake of it. I really like this joint. It's on point. It smells great. It makes your beard very manageable. And again, it's just good stuff. And it's always great to support other people that support you too. So shout out to Miss Queen and Natural Butter Love. I'll put some info in the description of where you guys can go check those out. Shout out to Neat Tucks, the best way to keep your shirt tucked in. NeatTucks.com. Go check those out. Speak Prosperity. They got some great T-shirts and clothing for you guys with some very inspirational quotes and things on it. And of course, shout out to Verdure watches. That's time well spent. So whenever you guys need some products for yourself, some beauty products, some products for your clothing, some clothing products, period, some accessories, some watches, all that stuff. Go check those out. Great companies for a great cause. They do great things and they're really good people. So again, this is Eddie Johnson, your host, here with cousin Sam and my man JB, all the way from Ghana. So yeah, YoYo the podcast. Thanks for tuning in.
I feel like you should say it with a deeper voice, natural butter.
Thanks for tuning in, y'all. Stay tuned for the next episode. And ladies, also, of course, I can't forget about the ladies. So we're going to do the flip side of this topic, what it means to be a man. So the flip side of that would be what it means to be a woman. So I'll have a special guest on the next episode, and she'll get into, what she believes it means to be a woman. And, you guys can give us your input, and everything will be great. So, yeah, stay tuned for the next episode, and I hope you guys enjoy it. Peace.